What is up, comic book fans, readers, collectors, cover lovers? Everyone is welcome here at NerdyGeeks Comics, no matter how you collect. Today is Sunday, September the 21st, 2025. So you know what that means. Snail Mail Sunday. And if this is the first time you're watching me, it's my unboxing video. So this is where I collect all the boxes that I've gotten from Whatnot or online retailers, eBay purchases, um, you know, artist exclusives, what have you. And I save them up throughout the week and I open up the packages here on camera and just show you what I got. Unfortunately, since this is the third time I'm recording this video, I can't unbox anything for you because it's already been unboxed. All the packaging has already been collected and thrown away or recycled, what have you. So all I can do is show you the books that I already unboxed. And that is unfortunate because the first time I recorded this, it was an amazing video. I was throwing things everywhere. Things were bouncing off the fan, things were bouncing off the walls. It was madness. Best video I ever posted. You know what? It would have been the best unboxing video in the history of comic book unboxing. I said it. Unfortunately, it had to get deleted because I had audio issues and I had video issues. For one reason or another, despite the fact that I have a 4K camera, it looked like it was recorded in 480p. And my audio sounded like this. And there's no way I was going to let y'all have that video, no matter how good it was, when everything was working that way. So, like I said, I can't unbox anything. This could just turn into a show and tell. And since this is the third time I'm recording it, because the second time I had no audio issues, I had video issues. So, I'm just going to show you the books. There's probably not going to be a lot of fancy edits. I'm probably just going to try and burn through this because it is late and I woke up at 2:25 this morning to go to work. So I'm doing this for y'all. So let's get to it. Okay, so like I said, I have nothing to unbox. So this video was going to be shorter than normal. However, I went ahead and dug through my collection to show off some books that I've already owned. So not everything here is going to be stuff that I just picked up. But we're going to start off with Uncanny X-Men number 268. Of course, we have the iconic cover here. We have I told you, it's my third time recording. I am exhausted. We have Black Widow, Captain America, and Wolverine. And the cover is by Jim Lee. Really nice. Next, we have Lobo, number 1. I've never owned this book. I found it in the back bin for like $4. I was happy to grab it. While doing more back issue digging, I found a copy of Something's Killed the Children, number 14, and I've always really liked this cover. It's a sad cover, like it's a really depressing cover. If you've read the story, then you know what this is, but even if you haven't, that is just a really sad cover, just from the context clues. We also have Something's Killed the Children, number 26. This is the Jenny Frison Virgin variant. We have Cutter right here with her dolly. I am a big fan of this artist, and I just started collecting this character recently. So here we have Savage Red Sonja, number 1 by Dan Panosian. Oh, and would you look at that? I have another Savage Red Sonja, number 2, also by Dan Panosian. Here we have Red Sonja and Vampirella meet Betty and Veronica. This is a series that I've been trying to collect the entire thing. This is only the second issue that I've been able to find. Really hard to find, but they're not really expensive. It's just hard to get them. Here we have just Red Sonja, number 1, the Jenny Frison variant. Jenny Frison, always doing amazing artwork. Great cover right here. This is a series that I was collecting back in the day. A little backstory for me, if you haven't watched all my videos, I didn't collect comics as a kid. It just wasn't in the budget for us as a family, so I never got to collect them. I did grow up reading comic books that maybe my friends would have, and they didn't have many because we didn't live in the nicest area. So the few and far between that they had, I would get to read, or the ones that my friends had at school. But I did grow up watching Batman, the animated series, X-Men, the animated series. So I did grow up loving superheroes and comic books. I just never got to collect them. But in 2005, I was in the Marine Corps and I was in Iraq, and we got a care package with Wizard magazine in it. And I had told myself, whenever I get home, I'm going to start collecting comic books, because by that time I had a little bit of expendable income, not much. But anyways, this series I was collecting, but I lost so I collected from 2005 to 2013, 14-ish, and I lost my entire collection, 17 long boxes, in a flood. And I didn't have the heart to start over. So last year I finally caved in and went back to the comic shop and started collecting again. And slowly I've been buying, new comic book day books. If you see my FOC videos, and trying to build up my collection that I used to have. And this is one of the series I was reading, because I am and was a huge Master Chief Halo fan. So we have Halo Uprising and the sketch variant. This is a series that I missed because this was way before I ever started collecting. But here we have Gen 13, number 1 by J. Scott Campbell. This series is one that I would have had from the get-go if I had been collecting in 2016. But since I missed out, now I'm having to go find the back issues. And this series is really hard to find. Like, if you go to I'm not going to say if you go to any comic shop, but any comic shop that I go to around me, and we have a few, at least 10 to 15, they never have any. And I grab them every time I find them. And finding number 20 through 25 is really hard because, one, they were very low print, and two, it seems like this character has a really dedicated fan base, so they hoard all of her comics, as I'm trying to do. But I was able to grab an Unbelievable Gwenpool number 22, Welcome to Latveria. Really great cover right here. So I do actually have this entire run, but the run is really bad shape. I mean, I think I got all 25 for like $20 because they are beat up reader copies. So I'm trying to find, copies that are in really good shape, and this was one of those. Okay, so a little bit more backstory. As I said, I was in the Marine Corps in 2005. I was stationed in Iraq, and we did get care packages. I did get the Wizard magazine, and on that magazine, this artwork just popped out at me. I mean, it was just gorgeous. The way all of the characters looked, they looked strong. It was detailed. It was really amazing artwork. I had never seen artwork like that before, except Jim Lee. Jim Lee's artwork did do that for me when I was a kid, but I hadn't seen anything like that until I saw this artist's artwork. And I did collect his stuff, but again, lost it all in a flood. So I am slowly going back and collecting it. And here we have Michael Turner's Soulfire. So Michael Turner is the artist who inspired me to get back into collecting comic books. And now, slowly and surely, I am trying to amass my Michael Turner collection. We have another Soulfire, number 0, cover B. Michael Turner's Soulfire Diamond Previews. And I see why I love his artwork. You see this area right here? It looks like there's light reflecting on it. That's just the way his art was. He drew the art where it looks like it's got, look, see how I do it? There you have light reflecting. That's just the artwork. Does amazing work with his lighting. So I have more Michael Turner books to show you, but before I get to those, I'm going to show you another artist that I collect, J. Scott Campbell. Here we have the Marvel's swimsuit special, Friends, Foes, and what is it? Rivals. And this is the Rogue cover. So J. Scott Campbell is obviously known for his Mary Jane and his Black Cat and his Gwen Stacy. But this year specifically, he has been putting out a lot of Rogue covers, and they are all just getting bought up. So here's another one. I was able to get 2 of that one. And next is the character that J. Scott Campbell is not only known for, but wants to be known for. We have the Mary Jane cover. 2. And an autograph one. Really awesome. Really happy I was able to grab these. I ordered these months ago. I want to say maybe 2 or 3 months ago, it feels like. And they just barely came in this last week. Now, let's get back to the great Michael Turner, as we have Fathom number 0. Fathom number 1. And you see what I mean? I love his artwork, because not putting shade on any artists who are active today. There are a ton of artists who are active today who I love their work. I collect their artwork. If I see a book that's coming up on FOC and the artwork's not there, but I see the name of Ivan Talavera or Humberto Ramos, Lee Bermejo, I'm probably going to pick it up whether the artwork drops or not, because their artwork I love to collect. But we all know that a lot of modern artists, and I'm not saying them, I'm just telling you examples of artists that I love to collect. They do a character on the cover and maybe a white background or maybe a colored background. But look how great and detailed he did this character. And not only did he do that, he did all this extra work with the coral, the sea life, the vegetation, the bubbles surrounding this character. Just so much detail he would put into his artwork. Fathom number 3. Fathom number 4. Really great artwork, guys. Again, like I said, I just loved his artwork. Fathom number 5. Swimming with the Dolphins. Fathom number 6. And not only do you have that great character artwork right here, but then you got their reflection in the water. Really awesome. Fathom number 7. Fathom number 8. We have a sad character right here. Fathom number 9. Number 10. Number 12. And we have Laura Croft crossing over into the Fathom universe. A variant of number 12. And finally, we have the Fathom swimsuit special from 2000. And again, the detail he puts into his comics, into his artwork, and you feel like when you look at this that, oh, there's water on this cover. There's not. It's just the reflection of the water on the character. And look how great that looks. Like that looks like, when you've been to the pool or you're somewhere and you see the reflection that just looks so amazing, guys. Like I love his artwork. So now we get to my point that I'm gonna add to this video. Um, I love collecting comic books. Turner inspired me to get back into or to get into comic books in the first place. Um, it is a tragedy that we will no longer get any of more of his amazing art as we lost him at the age of 37, I believe. He had cancer and passed away from it. He had some amazing artwork. He's from all accounts I've ever heard, he was just an amazing person. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about him. And it doesn't seem like, oh, well, yeah, he was an all right guy, but I better be nice. No, everyone just seems to gush over how great of a human he was. I'm sad I never got to meet him, but I do love his artwork. I do love sharing his artwork with people. But my new goal is I want to collect every single cover that Michael Turner ever put out. As I said, I'm a huge fan of his. I love his artwork, as I've been saying over and over and over. But that was the thing. In the Wizard magazine, the cover was a Michael Turner cover, and it was talking about the Justice League of America series that was coming out, where I think he did the first 11 or 12 issues, something like that. And it was Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. And he draws them incredibly well. I mean, his artwork is so good. So I read that thing cover to cover. I read, the article about the series coming out. They had more examples of his artwork, and it was just, like I said, if I make it home, I'm gonna start buying comic books, and I'm gonna find this series, and that's what I did as soon as I got home. I'd never been to a comic shop before. I'd never owned a comic, but Michael Turner brought me into it. Now, luckily, like a lot of these books, you can find them for $2 to $5. Like that's how much I got all these for, like $2 to $5. So his covers aren't expensive, but he does have a few that are really expensive. I mean, if I buy them, they'll be the most expensive books in my collection. So I'll just name off a few in particular. He did the series Superman Batman from I think issue 7 or 8 through 13, and in that issue they brought back Kara Zor-El. They hadn't wrote Supergirl since they killed her off in Crisis on Infinite Earths, I believe. Again, I wasn't reading back then. I could be getting the history wrong, but she hadn't had a series, so they brought her back in that series. And one of the famous covers of his probably most famous cover, is Supergirl wrapped up in Superman's cape. And there's 3 versions of that. So there's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive from 2016 that usually sells somewhere between $800 to maybe $1,100, $1,200 in a 9.8. That same cover is a reprint of another cover that came out in Germany, and that I want to say came out around 2006-ish, maybe somewhere around there, 2006-7, I don't remember. But it's the same cover, same Supergirl wrapped up in Superman's cape, but it's a blue background, and it's a German variant. And I don't know if it was a con exclusive or what, but there's 2 versions. They're both the same cover, but one is one of $4.99, I think, and that's the regular cover. Those sell at 9.8s for like, I couldn't even tell you. I think the last time one sold, it sold for like $18.50. But then there's also an artist proof or a printer's proof that there's only 49, and they're hand numbered. And last time I saw that one sell was probably $2,500 in a 9.8. So 1, those are ridiculously expensive. 2, they're covers that were made in Germany. They're exclusive over there. I'm sure there's a lot of them here in the US, but it is a very small window. Like, those rarely come up for sale. People who buy those keep them and hold on to them. So that's going to be hard. But he also has a GI Joe cover that sells for a pretty good amount. I think the last time I saw that sell on 9.8 was somewhere between $600 to $800, something like that. And then he's got a few others. Like he has some con exclusives, some back in Wizard World days. I never got to go to a Wizard World, sadly, but back in the Wizard World days, they did a lot of exclusives with him, and those books were, sometimes 2,100, 2,000, 1,500, 1,000, 500. Like he had some books that were 50. So I don't know. I'm probably painting myself into a corner saying I'm going to try and collect every cover ever, but I'm going to give it a shot. Even those ones where there's only 50 books and I couldn't even tell you how much they're worth because there is no sales data. Like if you go to Cover Price and all those sites, there's no sales data for those. So if you have those books and you're ready to let them pass on to another collector who loves Michael Turner's art, hit me up. Maybe we can work out a deal. Maybe we can work out a trade. Who knows? Or if help a brother out. You know what I mean? I'd share my FOC and my new comic book day haul because I love the hobby, but this hobby is best when we all work together. So you have your buddies who are like, hey, I got a friend who's looking at it for that book. You want to sell it or you want to trade? And then they'll tell you what they're looking for, and then you work out a deal. Maybe we can do something like that. But anyways, that's my goal. I want to collect every single cover that Michael Turner ever did. And from the research I've been able to do, I believe it's somewhere around 475 books and up. Because in the list I found, I did notice that there were some covers that I do know exist that weren't on that list. So it's more than 475 books, but I'm willing to do it. This is the guy who inspired me, and I want to have his entire collection. But anyways, I've taken enough of your time. I appreciate y'all watching. Please hit the like and subscribe. Share my video to anyone who you think might be interested in maybe Michael Turner art or just comic books in general. And I'm a small channel, so please help me out. But as always, again, thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.